All right, happy Friday, y'all. Welcome to the Dickie and Donny Show, presented by Business on Purpose. I am Dickie and my co-host Donny, and we are excited to liberate business owners from chaos in all that we do. And so this podcast is probably more chaos to the fire, but the goal would be to liberate from chaos instead of create chaos. But part of my personality, Donny, is I like to create chaos. I like to be a little bit of a fire starter.
Yeah, I've had business owners tell me I live for the chaos, and
Hmm.
then they get heart attacks,
Hmm.
and your family doesn't live for the chaos. But anyways, we are joined by the one and the only Spencer Callantine, the owner of Nightscapes Lighting out of the low country of South Carolina. Spencer, welcome to our totally professional show. So welcome.
Appropriately underprepared is what we are.
Unprepared.
Unprepared.
Unprepared, not underprepared. Those are different.
Appropriately unprepared, disprepared, in
You,
disrepair.
how much have you coached today? Because your words are,
Just about an hour, but
oh,
I just got off an hour and a half call, and my brain was a
that'll
little
do
bit
it.
mushy. Yeah, yeah.
That'll do it. I love it. Well, welcome, Spencer.
Hey, I am super pumped to be here. Yeah, I love the fact that we're underprepared or unprepared or whatever we want to call it. Because
Yeah.
man, I fit right into that category, bro.
I love it. Well, Spencer, enlighten us a little. Then once you kind of give us who you are and what you do, which we obviously want to shout that out. We'll kind of start the way we start with every guest. But why don't you quick give us a little shout out about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, man, absolutely. So I operate and own a landscape lighting and holiday lighting company here in the Low Country, so Bluffton, Hilton Head, Beaufort, Savannah area. And I've been doing it for about 5 years now. I left real estate to do that when I started my family, and became kind of an entrepreneur. So that idea of like, oh, I'll have more time and more freedom, more flexibility to be an entrepreneur, to be a dad. That was the thought. And 5 years later, we're wondering what that thought was about.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining. I don't know if y'all could hear that. Whenever BOP signs a new client, we have like one of those bam 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 buzzers, and I just heard it. So heck yeah for BOP. So I don't know what's going on there, but well, Spencer, we're grateful that you're here. And Spencer, you and I have gotten to have a friendship over the last year or so, and just an awesome guy, and pumped to have you on the show. But we're not gonna remove you from the way we start everything, which is when we have a new guest, we ask three rapid fire questions. So, Dickie, you want to start us off?
Yeah. What were your nicknames in elementary school? Callantine seems ripe for some good names, so I'm just curious. And good nicknames that you enjoyed, not the ones you didn't enjoy.
Oh man, well, I mean the bad ones certainly come to mind. Those are easy to rattle off. You know what? I'll tell you what. With a name like Spencer, there's not a lot that really rhymes or shortens with Spencer. So I got the traditional Spence. Like that was probably
Yeah.
the go-to for most. I'll tell you what, I used to play. It's hard to tell from this beautiful physique, but I used to be a football player. I used to be a quarterback, and so every once in a while they call me Dispenser because I was able to dispense the football. But
Oh, I like
yeah,
that one.
yeah,
Would you
that's
be
right.
like
Dispenser.
So
Callantine? Never got that?
it's this might come to a surprise to you guys, but I wasn't super popular with the ladies. So the old
It
Valentine
does shock
Callantine
me.
thing, yeah, I'm a
Well,
late
that's why
bloomer.
I thought you'd be out there, just like you're a hustler, you're out there, you're an entrepreneur, you're
Dispensing love. I mean, just
Yeah,
dispensing.
left and right.
just yep,
Oh,
yep, just left and right. Nope, I skipped on that one for some reason.
I
Okay.
love it. Question two. If you could, you're on a long road trip and you go to the gas station, what's your go-to like snack? Is it drink and snack? Like what's your go-to at a gas station on a road trip?
Oh man, well, I don't know if they have this at the gas station, but I'll tell you secretly the absolute best the best snack that you can get that I don't actually think is food is that cheese dip that you get from the grocery store. I think it's like
Fritos or
a
whatever?
Fritos cheese dip. I think
Mm.
it might be radioactive, but it
Sure.
is wicked good. So if I can pick up a bag of chips and that cheese dip, I will just go to town all day long.
I
Easy,
love
easy
it.
answer.
I love it. It's a great
Cheese
answer.
dispenser. The cheese dispenser. I love it.
Just sucking it down. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right, Dickie, third question.
Oh, Spencer, what's your favorite project you've worked on in the last 5 years in your business? like project or scope of work, or what's something you really got a lot of joy out of?
Yeah, man, that's a really good question. I think that one is kind of tough because they're all kind of unique in what we do. They're more artistic and they all have unique elements. But the ones that stand out particularly is we had an opportunity to work with a large landscape company in the Bluffton Hilton Head area. I'll give a shout out to Hilton Head Landscapes and Nick Welliver over there. We got to work with his crew. They were working on a huge project. It was in one of the private communities here, and they were hosting their daughter's wedding. They were going to have 250 people on their property, and Nick and his team did an unbelievable job, just completely renovating in about a 6-month time frame, front yard, backyard, and he brought us on board to really do the lighting. And it was by far it was one of the bigger projects that we've had, but not the biggest, but it was just the most intricate and detailed, and it turned out really great. The event went off without a hitch, and Nick and his team did a great job, and being able to be a part of that was super cool.
That's a cool project, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that is awesome. Would you say the dispenser, do you feel like the majority of your work, I love it, by the way, we're stuck with that. We see each other every Friday and we're stuck with that. Do you, is the majority of your work like that where you're subbed out from another contractor, or residential where you're getting with homeowners, and which one is the bulk of your work?
Yeah, I mean, so we've grown over the last 5 years. We've really done a lot with direct to homeowners. So we do mostly just residential directly homeowners. It's been with the last maybe 6 to 8, 12 months where we really try to focus on partnering up with what we call JV partners or joint venture
Hmm.
partners. So ideally, we probably want like a 50-50 split, but right now it's probably a
Okay.
90-10. I'd love to do more.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Spencer, as a business owner, what do you feel like? And I texted you this earlier. What do you feel like your narrow brilliance is? We use that term sometimes of like, where are you uniquely gifted? We all have skill sets, but like we all usually have 1 to 2 specific things where it's like, I just like, I'm just better at this than other people are at this. Where do you feel like you fall into there?
Yeah, it's a tough question, man. I think if I'm really focused, you say, hey, Spence, you got to come up with two. I'd say one of them that just naturally, I'd say it's just a God-given thing. For some reason, that's the gift that he gave me was I have the ability to create rapport, genuine rapport relatively quickly with kind of strangers. And so I get to know them on a deeper level. And that leads to some really cool conversation.
Hmm.
Probably a lot of times not even work related, but it's able to generate real relationships a little bit faster. And that works great for clients, but also for team members as well. So that's probably one. And then, man, of late with the old AI boom, like I just really geek out on creating systems and automations in our process so that
Hmm.
we can be relatively lean, but still have a really good client experience or journey. And for whatever reason, it kind of just clicks. So I'd say that's probably the other like, would you call it narrow brilliance?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are
Uh,
some recent tools you've built or worked on AI wise or automation wise?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys use this or familiar, but there's a platform out there called Go High Level. I think primarily it's made for like marketing agencies, but we've
Right.
integrated it really, and I'm actually looking at potentially going away from our home service based software and going all through Go High Level. So we've already got basically our website transitioning over through Go High Level, all of our workflows through Go High Level. We're building out the price book through Go High Level. So I'm pretty big in the Go High Level space just because it's so robust.
hmm.
And it's kind of a passion, man. Like there's so many small business owners that they are just such good tacticians. Like they're really good at what they do, and they just get bogged down with the mundane tasks of everyday business. And obviously, with you guys, like that's what you guys thrive in. But being able to have a software to help you develop that, it takes work, but it's a high leverage task. Once you do it once, man, it frees people up from so much they can focus on just giving better service. So I'm passionate about it, man. I love that stuff.
That's awesome. I have a marketing consultant I work with, and he's from my BNI, that's a funny thing because y'all are friends from BNI. But he is a huge go high level guy, and he's specced out some stuff for me for some clients, and it's been really cool. I mean, it's really he made me a laundry list of capacities that it had, and I was like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot it can do.
Man, I have a shutter window coverings contractor out of Charlotte or out of Charleston, and his son is now like, with held college, whatever you call that, like didn't go to college and just jumped into marketing and is making an absolute killing in the window tinting industry. apparently there's money to be made and he's found it all. He's just killing it, right? But his dad, he like got his dad kind of thinking through the marketing stuff. And I've now been with him almost 2 years now, and he's walked through a couple different softwares, but has landed the last 6 to 8 months on Go High Level. And man, there's something about it. And I haven't even seen the interface, but when you were like, it's almost in like not an addiction, but dude, he found the same thing where he's like, what can I stop doing so I can start using this? So I love that you're seeing some of the same stuff. He's got a lot of his process automated on there, and it's pretty cool to watch because they've figured out a good way to leverage it. And I'm glad you have too. Seems like a great tool. So
Awesome.
it's awesome. You mentioned Go High Level. Is there anything else? You said the AI boom. Is there anything else in the AI world you found you can leverage to help automate? And I guess I'll ask a question, then I'll go on a little riff. AI is this weird dynamic because what we don't want to do is we never want to take the human element out of anything we do. There's something so intrinsically valuable in humanity, right? Like even your narrow brilliance of being able to make a quick rapport with anyone at the drop of a hat is like, yeah, well, I know that person and they trust me and we're good to go now. Like that is valuable. If you were to AI your introduction or your sales, like, whew, they lose all that. So there's this balance of what do we take to the machine and then what do we like allow our personal creativity to kind of run with? Where have you found yourself? You mentioned the AI boom and it just is kind of natural for you. Where have you found on your end you've been able to navigate well with it? Because we got a lot of people out there that are scared because they're afraid if they dabble at all, they'll have to go all the way in and lose their humanity. So on your end, what have you found there, Spencer?
Man, I'm kind of regretting the fact that I gave
Don't
you
worry, it won't leave this.
ammo.
This is going to the billions of humans, but I won't bring it into BNI. Don't worry.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. That's dude. It's such a good question because one, it's super intimidating, especially if you don't have a lot of, let's say, computer. If you're a little bit reluctant on computer technology, whatever you want to call it, your prowess is a little bit lower. But I'll tell you, man, the thing that I've found success on is really being intentional with what is the best thing for the clients. Like if you look at it from the lens of, I don't necessarily want it to just be good for me. I want it to be good for my clients. And if you look at it from that lens, you really kind of sculpt your process and what your promptings or what your communication says. And so, for example, like for what I do, I live in kind of a luxury type space. It's a luxury kind of niche service. And so what I know that my clients prioritize is speed. They have a very, very limited schedule. So speed is super, super important. And then also a customized approach. And so it is a little bit difficult when you're integrating AI and all these automations. But when you look through that lens, it becomes more clear. So for example, when they fill out forms or they call us, they absolutely do not want a voicemail. So, you got to weigh the pros and cons of like, hey, yes, are you doing, for example, we have off after hours. You can call us after hours. I hope you do. Give us a call and check out Jessica. Jessica is an AI bot that we spent a lot of time developing. And I know you've heard a couple examples in BNI. I think ours is the best by far. Like we've spent a lot of time developing her, and to the point where we actually had to tell people, hey, hi, this is Jessica. I'm Nightscapes AI assistant. How can I help you? Just so we weren't duping people. People don't want to be duped, but as much as that's maybe not that personal touch, they certainly don't like voicemail. So understanding that and putting that in place, but then during hours, make sure a live person answers the phone, right? Like you don't want to overdo it. Because no one wants to press 1 and then 3 and then 4 to talk to somebody.
You nailed it.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good one. And then even some of the personal touches leverage things like ChatGPT. You can talk about tonality. You can talk about what your avatar client wants to be, how they want to be addressed and spoken to, and so your messaging, like how you say it, also is a really big deal. If you're just too laissez-faire and make it robotic, it'll sound like that. But all of our messaging is, upbeat, positive, very customer service friendly. So there's ways to do it. You bring up a good point. It's a hard balance that you have to constantly to do it.
Yeah.
But long-winded way of saying, I would definitely look at it through the lens of how can I use this to help my customer, not necessarily help me, and you'll probably be on the right path.
Oh, you said
I love it.
speed and customization. Those usually don't go together. Like speed, production building, customization, long drawn out design build process. So how is that a unique part of how you engage people, or where did that come from?
Yeah, so that's one of the bigger challenges that we face is because we're more of a luxury, more of an artistic element. We can't just package and systematize everything, although that's how my brain wants to work. So what I mean by for us in our business is when they call us, they want a response or some sort of communication right away. Like, hey, we received it, we got you, thank you for doing that. But then also when we go and do the on-site visit, that we're in uniform, we're dressed professionally, we communicate well, we talk in an artistic fashion, and then we come up with unique designs for them. But again, that's a quick turnaround time. So it is this balance of like, yeah, we want to automate for speed, but we also want that personal touch for customization.
I got you. So just an urgency and moving the sales process forward, honoring the lead you get, keeping them moving forward. That's great.
It's kind of like that old saying, like we're kind of a microwave generation now. And I feel like a lot of people, gear that towards Gen Zers. But I'll tell you, man, if you're serving like the executive class, those folks are busy, man. They are traveling. They're going from one meeting to the other. If they're talking about lighting, they got 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
you better respond and get them going, man.
Yeah. I
Well,
love
lighting is
the
such a great, it's such an underappreciated part of both
Ooh,
inside of homes and outside. Like you see a well-lit home, you're like, wow, that looks it's such a dimensional piece that brings such beauty. But I think it's probably you're right, one of those things that if I'm, more of a paycheck to paycheck kind of person, the lighting's probably the last thing on my mind on my house. So you're probably right, nailing your niche clientele.
yeah. Which I like knowing Spencer long enough, he has nailed it. Like he knows who he's chasing after, which I feel like saves you time and resources in a lot of ways of just knowing who you are and aren't chasing after. I think you're doing a really good job with that. Spencer, we've asked this to a number of entrepreneurs now that we've had on this show. You've had 5 years of experience. So thinking back, year one dispenser, hot and fresh, getting time for the family, billionaire, right? All these things. What's one thing, if you could go back and tell yourself one thing, what would you implement immediately that you know now? Like, what's one thing, if you could go back, you'd implement immediately?
Oh man, that's such a good question. One thing that I could implement now, I think 5 years. So the easiest thing for me would be the probably the automation stuff, but that really didn't exist quite 5 years ago. Like it wasn't nearly as robust, and it was super
Hmm.
mechanical, and I don't think that would have been the right move. So the second thing that comes to me is I would really look at two things. One would be if there's entrepreneurs watching this that own a small business, and when I say small business, I'm like probably talking less than $1 million of annual revenue. You maybe have less than 5 employees, whatever the case is if you have not leveraged or explored a VA, I mean, it is so game changing at such an affordable cost point that you can scale so quickly and honestly do it
Hmm.
at a better and high level. So I would say for those that are maybe in year one or two, man, if you have just a little bit of discretionary income or you have the ability to invest in your business, look at a VA for either in my business, home service based is like a CSR, someone to answer the phone, someone to follow up with emails, someone to schedule. Those folks are some of the hardest working, smartest individuals that we have one on our team. Her name's Mia, and she is integral to our business. I would go as strongly as saying we would probably fail if it was not for Mia. So she's incredible.
Dang. Thank you for that. What is a V for our listeners that maybe don't know? You say VA. Dickie, not Shawn. Dickie and I know what that is. What's a VA?
Yeah, so virtual assistants. So we're talking
Yeah.
someone that is purely remotely working for you in a capacity, and by and large, that's not in the states. And not that I'm trying to take jobs overseas, but the reality of it is when you're a small business just grinding it out to that first milestone of let's say 1 million annual revenue, you need to leverage every dollar in your business, and it's so easy to overpay for employees, not because it's their fault, but because you don't have processes in place, you don't have systems in place, they don't know what a win looks like in your business. And
Hmm.
so it's tough because you can't really maximize that, whereas you can do that a little bit easier with a VA.
Yeah, I've got a client, shout out to Virtual Assist and Freedom AI, that build this into their program. So they've got an AI and a virtual assistant combination program that identifies a need and looks at both people and software as an avenue to support business growth. And I love that perspective. But I am fascinated by the keeping work here in America, but also I'm an efficient person. So I'm also like, well, if I can get it done cheaper somewhere else, that's a challenge. I mean, that's a real
Yeah.
struggle in my mind on how to make that work either ethically or in a right way. What do y'all think?
The first thing I jumped to, this is really my only experience in the areas with BOP. We've talked about our editor, Devin from the Philippines. Everything's with a D here. Dispenser, so I'm great. We don't have to worry about that. You already figured it out. But Devin, and I mean, he's a full-time, like he's a part of our team in every way. So I don't think I have as much, and I guess I'll go on blast for saying this. Like, I don't have as much of this like bravado nationalism. Like my dad growing up, it was like God, family, country. Like I grew up in a different time, and although mine might be similar to that, like that, the bravado, like nationalism, I don't know, I don't feel that as much. So it's harder for me to engage with because I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't know what we pay Devin. I have to think that like the product we're getting out of him is so high that like why would and we have such a strong relationship with them? Why would we not continue that? And I have a number of clients that have VAs also from the Philippines, and like, dude, they're like every one of them is over the moon with the productivity, the relationship, the like community or the customer service at like there's so much there. But I have not thought about that either, Dickie, of the like balance of keeping work here, but also I don't have anybody using a VA that is not overwhelmingly like you, dispenser,
Yeah, I mean, like
overwhelmingly
Kevin's a
satisfied.
part of our team. Like we don't even, it doesn't even seem like it's just he's part of the team, just like
Yeah,
anybody else.
he's at every meet. Yeah, he's here with us. Yeah,
He runs things. Yeah.
runs everything.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm always fascinated. And I guess maybe I'm even fascinated by the underlying question of the nationalism question of why do we need jobs here? I think that's a good question to explore with people.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't know this would go this way, but here we are.
I don't either,
So,
man.
dispenser, do you have any thoughts about nationalism? It's an interesting time in America to talk through that.
Yeah, no
So,
kidding. Let's pick the most muted, normal topic to talk about. How about nationalism?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's such a polarizing thing. I think the biggest thing that I look at it is, and again, I am who I am, so judge me or not, but I think it's very similar to a little bit of like a DEI initiative. And for me personally, I think that's a negative thing when you try to look at things from the perspective of who's the best qualified candidate for that position.
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, the answer to that question is it's generally not a U.S. citizen for that role. They're just for whatever there is such a the VA population in Philippines, mine as well as in Philippines. She's Filipino. I mean, it is their like probably their number one job source. They
got to be
are
close to it. Yeah,
it's incredibly skilled position. I mean, these folks are just unbelievably skilled at it. They're just the best at it. And so I think from a performance perspective, who are you hiring? Are they the best performers? And then the other part of it is like, just like a CEO of a company or an executive of a company, oftentimes are headhunted and they're not from the US. They might be from Spain or they may be from some part of the world. And so it's like, in some cases, you're just looking for, just like in everything you're doing, you're trying to look for the best quality for the best price point that you can find. And it's not even close, for that type of role and that type of position.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're totally right. I mean, as a business owner, how do I maximize value to people? The product we put in, the engagement, the service, like all of that we want to maximize. So we have to look at, yeah, are they fit for the role? Can they do the function as a capacity? Do they match our DNA and their culture? Do they fit with our company? Yeah, those are good questions. I like that.
yeah. That's great. Well, Spencer, dispenser, thank you for joining us today. I know you're sitting in some traffic. Well, he's pulled over. I'll say that he's pulled over, not on the road, but yeah, we are great for screwdriver and all. I love it. Flathead or Phillips head? That's a big difference.
Both, buddy. Both. You
Hmm.
just tell me what you need,
Not what I
man.
expected.
Universal.
Here's a
That
question
was
for you. We'll
incredible.
end with this. And this is a question when I was in Wisconsin with a team. This was my icebreaker. If you were a tool, which tool would you be and why? And I'll start because you just show it. I am a flathead screwdriver because I'm never the tool you're looking for, but I'm always around and I usually can figure out how to get it done. But I'm never like idea number one. So I'm a flathead
Wow.
screwdriver.
I just learned so much about Donnie in this
Would
one
you
last
disagree
4
though?
seconds.
Dickie, now that you know me pretty well, it's like I'm never
I
like,
think you're more of a Swiss Army knife personally, but I know you.
well, Thanks. And Swiss Army knives also have a flathead screwdriver, so I'll take it.
You also have a flat head.
Okay. Dispenser, on your end, what tool would you be and why?
Oh man. Oh, that is such a good question. You know what I would be? I would be a cordless battery for one of those series that works with all different types of tools. Because at the end of the day, I am generally not the best tool or technician, but I'll be danged if I can pump someone up to do it. So
I love it.
I'm fueling the juice for whatever tool that gets plugged in, man. That's my role. Is I'm supporting those that are doing it.
That's a great answer. You're the juice. You're the fire starter for the team, huh?
He's not just the fire starter. He's fueling the juice. What a great line.
Well, and the other part of that is after about 5 years, I become obsolete and you got to find someone else. So that works too.
Just like AI, that's why you have your AI that helps you. Donnie, what would you say I am as a tool? I know you think
you're going to
I'm
make me say it for you. I don't think that's how this game works.
You think I'm a tool, Donnie? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
A little bit. Dickie, I think you are. I want this to be nothing but encouraging.
Dude, you say whatever you want. I'm almost.
This is from my household
I'm gonna forget
experience.
it until tomorrow.
I think you are an electric screwdriver for this reason.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've ever used one of those. I have one.
Drill. Yeah,
not a drill, an electric screwdriver.
One of those little mini ones.
I prefaced with it shouldn't, and your tone alone is hearing
just clear. I'm sorry, like a mini
the
one.
The stupid little one. No, so I think you're an electric screwdriver because, like, in all way, I think that is like the most helpful tool we have ever owned as a family because of what all the different things it can do. Christmas gift, son needs batteries. That thing's won't give me carpal tunnel. And yet at the same time, there's enough complexity with it. If you don't know exactly how to use it, like my wife cannot use it. She doesn't understand how you have to press a button and turn, like there's some, and she's pretty good at stuff. I gotta say that. Love you, babe. She like is good at stuff, and like there's enough complexity to you, but you are one of the most helpful people. You always have an answer. You can always figure it out. So on my end, I appreciate
that, Donnie. That's kind. And I have an impact and a drill I use all the time.
You have an electric screwdriver.
Yes, I do. I did buy one for the kids to take off outlet covers at a rental house recently.
Tell me that's not what you do for people.
Go to town.
That's right.
I think I would be a sawzall because it ain't going to be pretty, but the job's going to get done.
I almost said sawzall.
It's going to be loud and you're going to know where it's working. So real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Way better than what I said. Way better than what I said. I love it. Well, Mr. Sawzall. Yeah. Spencer, Dispenser, thank you for joining us. I hope this is the best hangover podcast you've never heard of. That's our goal. Season 2, episode 1. That's our mission statement. So anyways, yeah, Dispenser with Nightscapes Lighting, turning the mundane into the magnificent. Any landscape lighting in the low country, reach out to Spencer and his team. He'll be your Callantine anytime around February. So Spencer, I appreciate you just as a buddy and for jumping on businessonpurpose.com. If you have any info or questions on Business on Purpose, we do exist to liberate business owners from chaos. If you want to know a general health of your business, businessonpurpose.com/healthy. Take a 5 to 7 minute quiz on the health of your business. And if you just want to get a hold of us, it's Shawn, SHAWN, or Brandon, normal spelling, at businessonpurpose.com. We'd love to connect. We've had a couple listeners reach in or reach out to connect with us in some different ways. So always welcome that. But Spencer, thank you for jumping on. It was awesome getting to know you and to hear about your story and how you use VAs and how you leverage your ability to make quick relationships to boom in business. So appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on.
Hey man, it was awesome. Love the time together.
I love it. See ya.